Welcome and thank you for joining us today. This is our sixth webinar discussing topics around privacy, data security, and encryption, and showing to you how we at Tresorit approach these questions. Today, we will talk about why email encryption is important and how our solution can help you protect your data. But before we start, let me introduce my co-host, Olivia. Please tell us a few sentences about yourself and your role at Tresorit.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I'm the sales manager for enterprise clients. I assist our customers in their journey with Tresorit by analyzing their use cases and technical requirements, as well as offering consultation about Tresorit solution and their workflows.
Thank you. And I'm Norbert, the product manager responsible for email encryption and how Tresorit integrates into other applications and workflows. My main responsibility is to deliver the features that can provide the most value to our customers. Some important information: if you have questions, please use the Q&A button anytime. You can send in your questions even anonymously. We will dedicate time at the end to answer some of these questions, and the rest will be answered after the webinar. We will send out all of the questions and answers together with the recording to all of you. If you have attended one of our webinars already, I'll tell you no surprise. We believe that data privacy is a human right, and this drives all of our decisions at Tresorit. We want to empower everyone to take back control of their digital valuables by protecting privacy and confidential information with encrypted productivity solutions. And now I'm handing over to Olivia to tell you about the challenges of email security.
Thank you, Norby. So, even though there are a lot of communication tools like Teams, Slack, or Skype, email is without a doubt the communication tool of choice for almost everyone, and it is critical for those of us running a business. So email allows you to exchange just about everything from vital business documents to office anecdotes and video call invitations. But its simplicity also means that threats can go sometimes unnoticed. Furthermore, email servers are an incredibly valuable and vulnerable source of company data and personal information. So this is therefore not surprising that 333.2 billion emails will be sent every day in 2022, which amounts to 3.5 million emails every second. Wow. And it won't stop there. So the use of email is expected to keep increasing over the years, and 376 billion emails are forecasted to be sent in 2025. So we can go to the next slide now. So yeah, adding to that makes remote working is or has already become the new normal. The IT environment to secure for IT team has become much more complex in the last few years. Last but not least, we must take into consideration the human element, so basically all of us. We can train or be trained to apply security measures, but if those are not enforced, the risk of manual errors will remain high. And as a conclusion, it is no surprise that against this backdrop of increasing email use, we see that cyber criminals use email as their primary delivery mechanism for phishing and for malware as well. But let's focus on the human element a little bit. So as I mentioned earlier, employees can be trained to apply security measures, but they cannot always force to do so. So most employees, actually 8 out of 10, are aware of the risk that email exposes their company to. So why don't they act on it? Let's see a few reasons. First reason, employees, partners, collaborators are finding it too hard to collaborate securely. The experience is too clunky and too different from what they are used to do in their personal lives. A second reason can be that there are too many security settings. New tools may overwhelm with their complexity. So I don't know if you remember your first time at Starbucks, but I do, and I ran out without choosing anything to drink because the supply was too high. And a third reason can be that identifying confidentiality levels can be challenging in the midst of day-to-day workflows, especially in industries with less regulation. So imagine that you, as a direct line manager, are discussing the conditions for hiring a potential candidate via mail. So, well, your email probably contains PII information, so personal information, which your IT team can read, and potentially any cyber criminal can read it if you fall under a cyber attack. Also, if you're working in a less regulated industry, it might be hard to recognize what must be handled confidentially from what not. So the question can come up, is it time to act now? Based on various reports, here are just a few bullet points from the main surveys run everywhere. And we can see that only for the US, still 1 out of 2 employees admit having taken a risky action by opening a suspicious email or have not followed their organization policies to the letter. And more than 25% of those admitted to have clicked on a malicious link. So moreover, half of all organizations have been plagued with the data breach or cyber attack, and the number of attacks keeps increasing. So yes, I would say it is time to act now. But to talk about it more precisely, let's go into the details and let's check a use case. The first use case is about the HR department. So this HR use case affects almost every company, as every company has an HR manager or an HR department. HR professionals have access to a vast amount of highly sensitive and confidential data, which are mostly PII, so personal identifiable information. They have a full overview of payroll details of the entire company, like criminal records, employment history, medical information, performance records of their colleagues. HR professionals have access to information they not necessarily want to know about, but the kind of information that others might want to get their hands on. So basically, all documentation HR professionals are working contains personal data. Name, date of birth, personal phone number, employment records, salary levels, bank account details, and so on. So the question can come up, what is our recommendation in this case? HR professionals should encrypt all internal and external emails from the onboarding till the offboarding. Also, encrypting emails ensures that also their IT department cannot read those emails, so cyber criminals can also not read those emails which contain PII information. But let's not stop here. Let's check another use case. So the next use case is about healthcare professionals and patients. The internet is both a blessing and a curse for a healthcare provider. With its help, patient data can be accessed instantly from anywhere in a matter of seconds. Looking up the newest treatment options is also very easy, but in return, patients expect nothing less but immediate information about their condition. So while email seems like a convenient solution for such a demand, never forget that if you want to avoid penalties that can range from $100 to $50K per violation, you must understand HIPAA compliance. So according to HIPAA, any health-related information about one's past, present, or future health status that can make a person identifiable has to be protected at all times and by all means. This applies to all collected, maintained, and transmitted data that a database contains. So what is our recommendation here? First of all, we suggest to improve security standards by enabling two-factor authentication and screen locks on corporate devices, and apply a true end-to-end encryption to all data or emails with, for example, an encryption plugin for Outlook or Gmail. So now I'm handing over to Norbert so we can go more into the details of our product.
Thank you, Olivia. So how can we help you solving these challenges? it is important to highlight that all of the participants of email communication face different challenges and thus requires different solutions. For senders, we provide a simple way to share sensitive data internally or externally, including large attachments. No need to learn new tools. We are integrated into Outlook, where all the email communication is happening. If you sent an email by mistake, you can simply revoke the access to that email content. For recipients, accessing the encrypted content on any platform is quick and intuitive and has to be this way. And they can reply and send back documents with the same security level how they got it. For administrators, controlling and monitoring how sensitive data is shared in emails is critical. To solve this, they can set rules to encrypt the email based on recipients and attachments, and later other parameters will follow this solution. They can also access audit logs about how and when encrypted emails are sent or accessed. And last but not least, for the whole company, it is important that the most sensitive data is safe with us. We know nothing about it. You can easily comply with your industry regulations and increase trust in your brand by using the best-in-class data protection tools. But we are not solving all the challenges of email security, and it is important to make this clear. We cannot protect you from inbound email threats like phishing, spam, or other malicious activities. But in case of a data breach, you can rest assured that your sensitive email communication is in a safe place. Now, let me show you how Tresorit email encryption works. So Bobby is sending a confidential document to Estelle, his colleague, and Travolta, who is an external advisor. Travolta has a Gmail address. This triggers encryption based on rules set by the administrator. Bobby writes the email the same way as a regular email, adds a subject, adds an attachment, and adds the content of the email. Attachments are handled separately, and even large attachments over the Outlook limit can be added. Bobby clicks send, and the email is sent. Estelle has a Tresorit account, therefore she can read and reply to Bobby's encrypted email the same way as to a regular email. It is very simple. But Travolta, the external advisor, does not have a Tresorit account, but regardless, he can read and reply to the encrypted email. First, he receives a notification about the encrypted email, which he can access in the browser. Then he can quickly verify his email address with his existing Google account. This is just one click, and he can read the email. From here, he can quickly write a reply in the same end-to-end encrypted way. Bobby can read the reply again the same way as a regular email. No need to leave the Outlook client. This gave you a brief overview of the basic features of Tresorit email encryption. And now I would like to talk a bit about what directs us when working on our solution. Our solution is built around what we call 4 pillars of best-in-class email encryption. We define these based on our research and feedback from our customers. To be able to effectively protect your confidential business data, we have to continuously improve our solution in all 4 aspects. If you attended our previous email encryption webinar, you are already familiar with this. Therefore, today I will focus more on our solution than discussing the concept behind it. You can check our previous webinar on our website. Let's start with the human-first approach. The essence of this pillar is focusing on the users. We built our solution to be as easy as regular email sending. So we integrated our solution into Outlook, created a one-click or even a zero-click encryption experience to help the users focusing on their work, not on the tools that support it. We aim to remove obstacles from administrators as well. By using our new encryption rules, they can protect sensitive email data in an automated way to simplify the workflows for themselves and for their end users. People sometimes make mistakes, so our aim is to minimize the impact and the efforts to fix these mistakes. Revoking access to an already sent encrypted email can limit the risk of sending confidential data to a wrong recipient. Based on our research, the most important aspect for our customers is how their recipients, partners, and clients are experiencing the solution and how easy it is for them to use. In an internal communication scenario, we can control the IT environment. The problem is less prominent here. We can reach a simple emailing-like experience with encrypted emails as well. But when communicating with external partners, it becomes more complex and can be cumbersome. Let's discuss this step by step. The first crucial moment is when the encrypted email is received. At this point, we have to gain the trust of the recipient. To solve this, we delivered some branding customization options to ensure that the email is coming from a trusted source, and we are working on some other improvements in this area. The second step is accessing the content. It should be secure and simple at the same time. The recipients can use their existing Microsoft and Google accounts to validate their email addresses and access encrypted information. No need to register new accounts or copy and paste codes. And the last part of the recipient experience is responding to the email. The recipients can send back information and documents with the same level of protection. Our third pillar ensures that the solution requires minimal learning from the users and integrates seamlessly into their workflows. With encryption rules, no interaction is needed from the end users. Encryption is triggered automatically. By integrating into Outlook, the learning effort can be kept at the minimum level and therefore the support effort as well. There is no need to switch to a new email provider. Existing email addresses are used. Implementation and rollout requires minimal IT capacity as it is just a simple application installation. And we get to the core pillar of a great email encryption solution. This is the security and the data control features. Administrators can control how data is shared within emails with the new encryption rules feature. End-to-end encryption ensures that only the intended recipient can access the content. With our revoking feature, the control is in the hand of the sender even after sharing. And with data residency options, you are in full control of your data. With this, we are moving into the Q&A section of our webinar and handing over the virtual microphone to Olivia.
Thank you, Norbert. So we got a question about, does the recipient need a Tresorit account to answer the email? No, the recipient doesn't need a Tresorit account. They can reply from any web browser and they don't need a Tresorit account to reply to that. Only the sender needs to have a Tresorit account and email encryption tool to send the encrypted email.
There are some questions around the supported platforms, so I will talk about this. So I think one of the most important things that for the recipients, it is platform independent. So and they can open in any platform if they have a browser and internet connection. From a sender's perspective, we are currently supporting Outlook on Windows, and we are extending our feature set to Outlook for Mac and Outlook for web. And of course, other platforms will come in the future. We are really curious on what platforms you are interested in, so feel free to reach out to us if you have any requests regarding this, and we can prioritize based on your request.
Another question came in, what about the cost for the email encryption system? So basically now our email encryption tool can be purchased as an add-on to our core product. So it is a user-based product. So if you already have Tresorit, you can purchase it as an add-on. If you are curious about the prices, you can go to tresorit.com and under pricing, you will see the user costs for the email encryption tool.
And there are some questions about more technical details and the white paper. Without going into the details, I want to just clarify that our email encryption solution is based on the same technologies that we use in our core product, and we have a white paper about the security features of the core product. You can check it on the website, and we will put in a link into our follow-up email. And we are working on a more email encryption specific description and documentation. So it will come up in a following weeks or a month. I think we can move on to the next slide. Regarding all the other questions that we got, all will be answered, and we will send out the answers in our follow-up email.
Yes, so here you see our distinctions and our certificates. And on the next slide, you see some of our customer stories. So if you are more interested in use cases and in our customers, then you can check it out on our website under customer stories, and you will see many more.
So, and the last piece of information, if you're interested, save the date for our next webinar. We'll hold it on 15th of November with the focus on our administrators and the features specifically focusing on them. And with it, I would like to say thank you for joining us today. It is always a pleasure to share and discuss topics with you. You can reach out to us anytime on our email addresses and follow Tresorit on our social media channels. Thank you very much and have a great day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.